blazing sun bore down on the dusty military base as a crowd gathered for the annual shooting demonstration. Among the crowd stood a hardened war veteran, Colonel Briggs, smirking with arms crossed. He looked down at the tiny girl beside him and chuckled. You? You can't even hold the rifle right, sweetheart, he sneered. I bet you can't hit a single target. The crowd laughed. But within minutes, that same crowd would fall silent. Mouse Agape as a little girl, just 11 years old, raised a weapon with calm precision, and did something no one in that base had ever seen before. Her name was Emily Jane Carter, born and raised in rural Montana. Emily was no ordinary kid. Her father, a former sniper, had taught her the art of marksmanship from the age of 4. Her mother, a neuroscientist, had helped her train her mind to focus like a laser beam under pressure. By the time Emily was 7, she could hit a soda can from over 200 yards away using an old Winchester her father kept in the barn. At 10, she entered and won an underground youth sharpshooting contest dominated by teenage boys. Word of her skill spread, but no one took her seriously outside her town. That changed the day her father got invited to a military base for an exhibition and decided to bring his daughter along. The Fort Ravenwood training base was home to elite military exercises. Once a year, civilians and retired soldiers were invited for a friendly challenge day. The shooting range was a highlight, but it wasn't open to just anyone. You had to be sponsored by a current or retired military official. Emily's father, Sergeant David Carter, had retired honorably with 19 years of service. He signed her up under his name, but when they arrived, they were met with resistance. You brought her? Colonel Briggs asked, raising an eyebrow. This is a weapons zone, not a dollhouse. Emily stood quietly, her eyes locked on the colonel's medals, her fingers twitching with anticipation. I'll tell you what, Briggs said mockingly. If she can hit even one target 100 yards, I'll give her a shot at the advance round. But I'm betting she can't. His laugh echoed across the field. David wanted to object, but Emily stepped forward, calm as ever. I accept, she said. The colonel handed her a standard-issue M4 carbine. Think it's too heavy for you, he asked. Emily didn't respond. She adjusted the stock, loaded a single round, and knelt in position. The crowd went quiet. One breath in, one breath out. Crack! The bullet tore through the air and struck the bullseye of the distant target with flawless precision. Gasps erupted. Even the colonel blinked in surprise. Huh. Lucky shot, he mumbled. But Emily wasn't done. Can I try the advanced course now? The colonel, still skeptical, laughed it off. You want to attempt the rapid-fire course? That's for elite commandos. It's 80 pop-up targets. In 60 seconds. You won't last 10. She looked him dead in the eye. Set it up. Reluctantly, he gave the order. The range crew scrambled. 80 targets were positioned in random directions, some at 10 meters, some at 100. Some popped up, some swung, some rotated. No one in history had hit more than 63 in the time limit. Emily picked up a modified semi-auto rifle, her hands barely fitting the grip. She put on noise-canceling headphones and closed her eyes for a moment. The buzzer sounded. The first 3 targets dropped within a second. Crack, crack, crack. Her movements were like a dance, fluid, instinctive, precise. She shifted her stance with the grace of a ballerina and the timing of a machine. Each time a target popped up, left, right, near, far, it was down in milliseconds. The crowd began counting. 10, 20, 30, 40. The colonel stopped chewing his gum. His eyes widened. Emily didn't miss a single shot. Time ticked away. 57 seconds. 59. The final 2 targets popped up behind her. She spun, double-tapped. Crack, crack, and the buzzer blared. You could hear a pin drop. Then, a soldier ran up with the scoreboard in hand, eyes darting across the hit count. All 80, sir. She hit all 80 targets. The place erupted. Soldiers whistled. Some clapped. A few just stood in awe, as if they had witnessed a miracle. Colonel Briggs didn't say a word. He walked up to her and extended his hand, a rare gesture from a man known for his arrogance. You've just broken every record we have, he said softly, and you've made me eat my words. Emily smiled. You still owe me that bet, Colonel. Later, during interviews and media frenzy, people asked how she trained. The truth was astonishing. Her father had built a backyard training course that mimicked military ranges. They trained every morning at 5 a.m., rain, snow, or shine. But what made her truly exceptional was not just physical skill, it was her mind. Emily could slow down time, figuratively. Her mother had taught her breath control, focus, and visualization. Before shooting, she could mentally walk through every bullet's trajectory. She wasn't just reacting, she was predicting. Following the event, Emily was offered dozens of sponsorships and a full scholarship to a top military academy. Should she choose that path? She declined. She wanted to focus on science and engineering. But once a year, she returned to Fort Ravenwood, not to compete, to teach. Young girls lined up for her seminars, holding rifles bigger than their arms, staring up at the legend they now called a minute sharpshooter. In Colonel Briggs's office, there used to be a photo of him shaking hands with the president. It was his pride and joy. Today, that spot is taken by a framed photo of a young girl holding a rifle, smiling, calm, powerful. L. And beneath the photo, a small brass plate reads, "She didn't Mississippi, not even once." Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and press the bell icon so that you can receive notifications of every new video.